So it's like Risk, but with medieval themes, or what?
I wouldn't call it like Risk at all. For one, it's not shit. Oh, baby.
Damn. Can you go?
Slow down. Look at these. Oh my! Look at these robots. Look at how cool they are. They're fucking gorgeous. I mean, this guy.
Crimea? You
It's
think
a
it's Crimea?
boat with legs.
Oh.
Yeah, boat with legs.
Oh.
This one. It's like a penny
not
farthing
Crimea.
with a caboose. Hold on. Penny farthing with a caboose. And this guy, well, he's got an orange juicer for a head.
Pick a faction, any faction.
Alright. You can have that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Hopefully I don't get 2 fucking factory cards last time. Last game we played last week, 2 factory cards. Thomas parked his character and 2 mechs on it the entire game. And then when somebody finally went into combat against him and he lost thoroughly all of his power, everybody had decided that this is where they're going to put their everything, and I hadn't built my mind tunnel early game, so I was just really cramped in there with not much to do.
Right.
Where's the last? You've got the last resource bag, that's what's going on.
What? Yeah, I got wood.
A motherfucking rich bitch. A rich bitch.
Try to specialize in 6 things.
Try to specialize in 6.
Yeah, you've seen that, right? Focus on being good at 6 specific things.
Yeah. It's like all of
Yeah,
them.
that's easy. Yeah, first move I'm actually going to move this fella and that fella. Max.
Gonna produce. Oops.
It's a productor.
So I'm gonna get a dude and a food.
The food.
Yeah,
And
give me a
the
food.
And the food.
On
It's
the, on the
Fistful.
food. On the food
And
time.
the food. I too shall produce. With the dude. I will put the dude here.
Well, no, you don't.
Sorry,
produce a dude.
I mean,
No, you're not on.
You get oil and metals if you produce now.
Also, take it from the side that doesn't expose the coin. See how it's got an arrow there that says...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I pay with this guy still.
No, you don't pay it. You,
Also, you need to be
if
on
you
that
produce-
square. No,
if you
wait,
produce
hold on.
on dudes.
You need to be on a village square here to produce a dude. Otherwise, your production action is metal, oil. Those are your 2 options.
Oh, like that.
You need
okay.
to be on the village square to produce a dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you only it's great. You only need 1 person on the village square to produce
Really?
a dude. It's asexual
I would like to,
reproduction.
see that on a village square.
So am I allowed to actually produce both of these right now?
Yes.
Okay.
You can produce on 2 tiles you control with a villager per turn
Okay, yeah,
per
so
production
I
action.
can
So,
get an oil.
stick an oil and a metal on your board.
Stay out of the village square, you sick boy.
That's what I do.
Hey man, look, you can just hook up with some hussy. Are you a hussy?
No, he's a gentleman.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dignified German people.
He is a gentleman, but may or may not enjoy slightly devious sexual acts. On
Yeah.
account of being German.
Just remember Crimea, Russia is on the board.
Yeah. Well, I ain't especially rushing around right now.
No, look, can we make these videos a no pun?
Absolutely not.
For God's-
Absolutely
I
not.
didn't sign up for this shit.
Let's put all these guys up there. And we'll go... 1, 2.
Any comment?
Yeah, at the end of the movement turn. And I'm gonna do that.
Look at this.
No, I don't get to see
Okay.
him. So shuffle him if you want to.
You see this? This is a really cool mechanic, right? Because it's basically a dick waving contest. That's as complicated as combat is. You go, oh, well, my dick's bigger than yours. You go, all right then, I'll see you later. Show us your wings, boys.
3, 2, 1.
I had a hunch he was going to do that.
Well, you just lost those 2 combat cards. Max didn't win anything, so he doesn't get a combat card in return. But you just went down. How much power? How much power was on your dial?
Everything.
It was 4, wasn't it?
No.
Or 6?
No, I got 5.
You had 5. All
But
right.
they're still on 1
They
power.
go
Oh, those
down 1
count as
power,
power?
and those go here.
No, those count as other cards.
Okay, fair enough. What do we have over here?
Move from a territory or home base. What does that mean? A territory?
Oh, is that something you
These
control?
are territories. All
Oh.
these little hexes are territories. It basically means that whatever territory... What is it exactly?
Move from a territory or home base to any inactive faction's home base or your own.
Which means you can move there, 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 there.
Or there.
Or there.
I'm gonna move
Move.
that guy here and there.
Oh yeah, you
Really?
got that thing.
Yep. That guy here and here and her.
Bumfuck, mate.
That's
Bumfuck.
my move. And I'm gonna steal one of your cards. I want that one. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's
11.
That's 11. That is a just win.
That's 5 of 5. Yep.
That's a giant fuck you.
Crimea out of fucking nowhere, Russia. It's gonna happen. 2017.
What do I do? What do I do, Max?
Ooh, can we have the rule book? I need to clarify something.
What?
I need to clarify if when I move to a home base, can I bring resources? So if I move to that space, can I leave the resources, but then other people can't grab them? That seems super OP.
Ah, that's actually a good point. Can you... now I see what you're saying, because resources live on the board.
Can I move them here, but I have to move them out? Or can
I would think no, because you're not moving it to a valid space per se. You're moving it to your home space, and
so
those
that's-
are extraneous circumstances.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering, if it's possible or not, but it doesn't say anything about it either way.
Do you want me to ask the Facebook group? The designer is actually pretty responsive.
That would be great.
He is on American time, so he should be awake, so I'd expect an answer to this within half an hour. We don't have half an hour, so how are we going to play this?
I say we play it as you can bring them, but if you leave them on a spot like that,
Yeah, you just
they
want the
do
fucking
nothing.
resources. You have a vested interest here.
No, but the problem being, like I said, let's say I have resources here. You could just go bang, bang. Equally OP if you're next to the factory and control
I can't
it.
travel back from the factory.
Yes, you can. From the factory back to any village you control.
Oh, that is true.
So yes, you can. And just like he could, imagine he was here. He can river walk over, grab all the resources, and then the next move he can go mountain to tunnel to mountain.
Yeah.
Because his ability. So it's the same fucking thing. It's just that I managed to use home bases.
Yeah. I mean, you do have a point, and you do want those resources like a dick.
Sure.
Let's
Let's play it like I can't move. Like
now
use them if
let's
they leave them.
just see if democracy works, guys. All those for voting, he can take it back to home tile. I'll actually pay that.
Alright, fair enough. So that's it then.
All right. I guess democracy does work, guys. Get out and vote. So I'm gonna move this motherfucker.
To a home base though. The other thing is you can move to any map you control any tunnel.
Jamie has commented. They can move around resources, they just can't spend resources from home base.
You were right. So democracy works, but it
Democracy
also works if you have
works.
an intelligent dispo.
Alright, so democracy works, but so does being a dictator. And their resources don't count for endgame scoring if they're on home bases.
Ah,
There you go.
called it.
This guy, he called it, it's not part of the game if it's on a home base, but I could leave it there and then grab it later, I guess.
Yeah, you probably could.
If someone just doesn't end the game while they're out there, that would be not a dick move, it would be a good move, but I would still feel bad. I would still try a bit.
That's my move, and I don't have food anymore, because Max is a cocksucker.
It happens. It
Now,
happens.
every game he does one move that really dicks me over, but tends to leave everybody else alone.
No, that's gonna change.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna fuck me over next.
I might.
Probably will. See my poor little card.
I see you. I'm gonna steal your poor little card, and I see your power. I see your power.
Why did I just spray Coke all over the board? Look at that. This is exactly why I put sleeves on shit, guys. Look at
Yeah.
It also helps not being a slob.
Look at this.
Is
Look
it
at
my
this.
turn yet?
See this fucking shit right here? This is the worst fucking thing you can do to your board games. Never do this to your fucking board games. And what do? I do it to my own fucking board game. Jesus Christ.
Gotcha.
So,
that's basically gonna
you
happen.
do get that.
Eh? Not sure what the fuck this is. There's a bunch of gypsies next to a sea.
How dare you call us Crimean gypsies?
Everybody in this fucking car is a Crimean. Take a ferry. Take a ferry. Take a ride on a ferry as the wind tussles your long flowing hair. Beautiful.
Ooh.
Gain 2 popularity.
I imagine this guy. That guy.
It's probably that guy.
No, that's the guy.
That's
You are
the-
that guy. His hair tussles seductively.
Trade with the caravan for a variety of goods. Pay $2 to gain 3 resources. And pillage the traveler's wares at gunpoint. Pay 3 popularity to gain 85 resources. I think he's gonna gain 2 popularity.
So that was a game of Scythe. Okay, that was a shit introduction. Let's start again. I actually haven't thought about what I want to say exactly to introduce it to a video to people. Alright, so that was a game of Scythe. We're currently in the pack-up phase. Christoph won. Max thought he won, but he got a rule wrong. He thought that just collecting resources would give him one of the bonus points for every resource, but it turns out it's every 2 resources that you get the points for. So his game ended up being not as good as he thought. Anyway, this is quite an involved strategy game, I would think. We've played 4 sessions now, and we don't really think we're anywhere near to plumbing the depths of the game, so to speak.
It's got any more bugs?
So, I mean, like, I've played the Poland faction twice, the Nordic faction once, the Russviets I just played, Max every time dicks me over, and nobody else. This guy has it in for me. It's probably because I convinced everybody he was a threat that one game, and he came basically last. So, and this is one thing that I think though. I've had this theory that the game is won in the early game. If you have a really good early game, you set up. But I had a really good early game there, and then got dicked over, and then everybody else was on level, and then I was set well back, and I never caught up. So it's really not so much an early game that's the problem. It's the catch-up mechanics in this. It's hard to catch up if you find yourself behind. The whole idea of a scaling score does make it easy, but realistically, as far as we're playing it, once people are ahead in the score, they stay ahead. You say that's fair?
Well, not necessarily. It's just we've been focused on passive play a lot so far.
Yeah, that is the thing. One of the things that is said about this online by the designer is that it's more of a game of Cold War. It's more about the threat of combat so much than the combat itself. Like, you get into a combat and it massively sets you back every time. Unless you're Poland, because who cares? They just keep their popularity and they keep their power and they're great. That's one of the things I like about the Poland faction. I can win combats there. The only game I've won, in fact, was with Poland. Interesting, we've won the 4 sessions we've played. Poland has won twice, which is statistically against what the designer has found in playtesting.
Which could just mean we're really bad at the game.
It could just mean we're really bad at the game. It's true. Now, Christoph, you played it less than me and Max.
Yeah.
Have you had any problems with it?
No, it's just the first time. Like
Just the first time,
This
yeah.
This time went way better.
Yeah, the
Obviously.
I mean, it's an all-in game. You need to learn everything up front because every action you can do is immediately available to you. So that takes like half an hour. We usually average to explain it to a new player, I guess.
There was something like that.
Something like half an hour, and then you've constantly got to train the player up as they go, and there's always a point where they're not sure what they should be doing because there's so much option to you. Second game onwards, this is actually not a problem because you know there's so much open to you, and it gets towards the end of the game, you're like, oh fuck, I need to do this, and then the game ends because somebody put down their 6 star. It gets really hectic at the end game because you know people are about to end it, and you're like, I want to do all these things, and you kind of, this is again, we don't. It doesn't become a combat game in the end of the game because everybody's trying to consolidate territory, everybody's trying to generate resources, everybody's trying to do everything they can to get the points up.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty fair. I think it's more of a game of finding and exploiting weaknesses.
You're out of camera there, Max.
Not now.
Not now.
I'm all camera.
Yeah, but you're out of focus now. The focus point's about here.
Good. But it seems to be more about a game of weaknesses rather than a game of like having a good early game. If you reveal a single weakness and don't consider what the enemy can do for even just one turn, you can get dicked over.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, like, that way you dick me over there. I wasn't particularly weak. In fact, you know, we both put in, I put in 11 power instead of combat and you put in 12.
Well, you put in 10, I put in 11.
Well, either way, there was a 1 point difference. We weren't particularly weak at that point. It looked like an advantage and you took a gamble there and you won.
I didn't gamble. I knew if you put one more power in, you could at maximum put in 11. So it's like 11's a guaranteed win.
Yeah,
I'm the attacker, right?
Yeah, I can't remember how they go. I thought the advantage was to the defender, but I could be wrong.
No, the defender gets an extra card if he loses as a consolidation price.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, I didn't have enough cards either, so I couldn't.
Well, I stole one of them.
Cards. Yes, exactly. If I bolstered with cards earlier in the game, so yeah, it could. Yeah, all right. You may very well have a point there. This is a game of exploiting weaknesses. And yeah, that's actually absolutely worth pointing out. If you look at people on the internet, that'll be like, this just seems like, you know, a really average Euro game, and I'm just going to go play Terra Mystica instead. And the thing that they miss out entirely is that this game, it's you don't do a lot of direct player conflict, but direct player conflict is absolutely a massive component in the game. It affects every action you do is based on the threat of another player and what they can do to dick you over.
Yeah, you constantly have to defend your own bases because there's a lot of shit that can just move in on your space if you don't pay attention for a second. You're like, oh, that guy can't get, and then you're like, oh wait, he has the factory card, he can move tunnel there, river walks right into my territory and grab all my resources unless I have a mech there. So you have to keep a mech at home. Then you have to see, like, I could go there, but he has 2 mechs, and I have to bring at least 2 mechs to be able to combat him in combat cards, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit to think about. Not just defensively, but because if you do, you expose a weakness, and it feels like a game of weaknesses so far. And
yeah, again, 4 games, and I think we're going to have to play at least another 10 to work out exactly how everything works out. This is actually also worth pointing out because every single mechanic in this game is simple. Every single one of them, your movement is simple, your power generation is simple, but I need to bring up an analogy here. It's like, you know what else is simple? A wheel. You know what else is simple on top of that? A peg. You combine pegs around the edge of a wheel, you have a gear. You put the gears together, you suddenly have a machine. You know, it's something that you can build up out of very simple components to make something reasonably complex. And that's exactly how Jamie has designed this game here. It's just a bunch of really simple things that, because they're all in this gear work, every mechanic affects each other mechanic in some way. It's very rare that you see a design like this in board game that's just so interlocked like that. Go on.
what? I haven't got anything to say. I'm just
Agreeing?
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, it's true. I mean, it's not about.
Just that every time you do a look like that, it's like, well.
No, I mean, it's true. Every single action, by doing an action, you're not doing another action, and you always want to try and optimize. But if you optimize, people can ruin your plans easily. So you have to optimize for defense, and then you're not optimizing for attack. You have to constantly weigh your options. But the most important thing is, by doing an action, you're not doing the other 3 actions.
Yeah, it needs to be said as well that like these Russians, everybody's like, I wish I was the action because I want to build 3 turns in a row. It's not an advantage. It's because there's all these other actions you're not doing that you also really need to be doing. You know, it's like I wanted to actually play the Crimeans this game solely so I could see what I do with the power cards, and Max was pretty much exploiting them in the way that I was expecting to try out myself. Like Russia is basically, you need a good production engine, which means, you know, rather than being so much of an offensive faction, you kind of want to be more of a defensive one. You want your perimeter. It's like, this is my territory, these are my resources, do not take them, kind of thing.
I mean, if you're on a...
That was my problem there as well. I expanded to the other side of the board and I didn't have a good defensive net. I hadn't moved everything into place there yet to be a good defensive net.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Russians as well is you normally have the 1 turn to bolster before you have to fight again. Because the other guy, if he moves in and he fights you, next turn you can just take a bolster action, he can't fight yet, and then you can fight him or whatever you want. With Russians, it's not that simple. if they've just moved in and fight you, unless you take bolster that very action, they can just move in and fight again.
Yeah.
And again.
Oh,
and again.
That's pretty much the same with the Nords. It's like if you attack them next to a lake space and they're like, go on, spend all your energy, next turn they just move right in.
Yeah, but that's on a if you defensively move, they're defensive compared to the Russians, which go, I can attack you this turn, and unless you bolster on your action and force you into a specific thing, ruining your plans, he's just going to move next turn. But the Nords, at the very least, have to go, okay, I'm going to attack this turn. And then if you send him back, you go, okay, next turn I have to bolster or do some other stupid shit that I don't really want to do, and then he can move in. So the Russians definitely have the pressure thing going. Because they force you to do things, like you get behind unless you just start maybe even thinking about conceding territories.
Yeah, well, I mean that attack you did on me with all those resources put me back a good 6 or 7 turns.
Yeah.
That's crucial, because another 6 or 7 turns there, I would have had my popularity up where I wanted it to be in resources to win the game.
Yeah, but conversely, it's like if you have the factory, the Russians can get there every single turn.
The factory's a unicorn. It's a fucking unicorn.
Not for the Russians. The Russians mean you can move, like with the factory, you can move to so many places.
Yeah. It's one of their things, but a lot of people, I mean, they try and control the factory, and what does it do? It gives you effectively 2 extra territories at the end of the game.
Yeah, and it gives, walking to any village you control is right.
Yeah, for Russians, yeah, but a lot of people focus on that factory like it's the most important fucking thing in the world. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not.
It's not.
I just got it for like the factory card, and then I
you get the factory is a get in, get out thing, but a lot of people do get caught up on controlling that factory.
No, well, I controlled at the end because I knew I was going to get like high popularity. Then it matters.
I mean, if I wasn't 6 or 7 turns behind, I might have considered attacking you there.
I considered attacking you, but
No, but you're only allowed to dick me over every game, no one else.
No, I thought I was ahead because of the resources, but I wasn't. Otherwise, I would have attacked him.
Yeah.
Because he was weak for a moment. But I was like, yeah.
Either way, he was ready to end the game.
Well, that was before that. When I only had 1 combat card in hand, at the perfect time for me to attack.
Yep. Oh well.
But I thought I was ahead.
Still, that's what, 4 games, 8 hours. There's still a lot to learn about this. We need to, like I said, we're probably going to need to play another 10 hours to work everything out of this.
Yeah.
And then the expansion comes out early November, and we get another 2 factions and 2 player boards to put into it. And that'll screw with our tactics and everything all over again.
Weebs.
This guy does not like the idea of a Japanese faction invading Eastern Europe.
Not at all.
Not
to be fair. Stupid.
Yeah, you're like the only one of us that's been to Japan, haven't you?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. I just think it's stupid for in Europe the fucking Japanese to attack. Make it the Indians, make it the fucking Turks, make it anybody from Africa which could conceivably attack Europe in a reasonable fashion when you have fucking farmland and mechs.
My point is, they're probably big enough to say, well, there's been this big battle in alternate World War I fighting mechs, now the factory's there, maybe it's about time we stake our claim,
Yeah, and sail all around fucking Vietnam, India, through Turkey, and past all the Somalian pirates.
You realise I'm Australian because Britain did basically that, right?
Yeah, but that's when Britain owned the rest of the things they sailed around, essentially. Japan doesn't own shit in those seaways, and they would have to landfall in a fucking precarious position.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Maybe just fight the entire way through Russia.
I honestly don't care. The expansion's called Invaders from Afar.
Can make them Mongolians, that would be fine.
That would be great.
Yeah, exactly. They were in Europe multiple times. The Japanese
but they weren't
fucking left their island. They were samurais until 1900s.
Yeah, but I mean, the Mongolians weren't in Europe after the Ottoman Empire took up.
No, it's true. But I mean, they get horse mechs and they fucking invade. They can do that shit. Right? I mean, what are the Japanese gonna get? Fucking teleporters? That's the only way I can see them invading Europe.
No water mechs.
But no, I get it. People like Japan. People want to see Japan.
Yeah. Anyway, what's a 4-game in verdict? Who would you recommend this game to? If you would recommend it.
Germans.
You would recommend it to Germans?
Yes.
Is that because they can play German faction?
No. Because they seem to like efficiency, and the game is about efficiency and optimizing. Like I said,
well, I mean, like
you're not doing 3 actions every turn, but you're only doing 1. You better make sure that 1 action is really fucking efficient.
Yeah. Christoph, if you would recommend this game, would you recommend this game and who to?
I probably would, yeah. And not even for people who are like very active in board games, because it's like this thing is like I picked it up in like
Yeah,
game, essentially.
I mean, it's very easy to pick up, and all you need to do is show people like one of these robots here, and it's like, oh, that looks interesting. It's, yeah.
Art design is.
This, I mean, we don't need to tell you it's fucking gorgeous, but we're gonna tell you anyway. This game is fucking gorgeous.
It is. Pretty
It's
gorgeous.
it's got some of the best art design. Not just the concept art, which was what's his name? I can't remember his name now. It's on the front of the box. Actually, I'm not going to even try pronouncing that. My pronunciation is shit.
Is it Steinmeier?
No, that's Jamie Segmeier is the designer. He's the American guy. This is Jakub Wojciechowski or whatever. I can't pronounce it. Sorry for mangling your name. But yeah, this guy, he had his art on the internet, and Steinmeier Games is like, let's license this and make a game out of it. And it's not just the concept art that's gorgeous; it's everything about this. The character models are really well detailed. Like I pointed out earlier, this guy is a tugboat with legs. All the cards, all the little guys, for your factions all have a unique shape. It's really, really good, high quality production game.
Shout out to people with OCD. The way all the boards look and work, and how you set it up, as well as how the board folds.
Just right.
Just fucking.
Yeah.
Tickles the OCD.
Just right. But yeah, I'd recommend if you can get over the half-hour learning curve. It's probably not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Very definitely something you should play at least once. If you like strategy games, engine efficiency games, and you love player conflict, this thing has so many of the things I look for in a competitive multiplayer game. It's a no-brainer purchase for me, and for my kind of taste, I'd recommend it for anybody with taste similar to my own. And make your friends play it and see if they like it. And this is basically we get one session of board gaming a week, usually 2 at the moment because we're doing Pandemic Legacy, and this is all we've played for the last month.
Yeah.
So it's a very solid game, well worth your money. Check it out. 3 thumbs up.
Yeah, I would say 2 thumbs up from me.
I'd say 2 thumbs and an erect
2
penis.
thumbs and a foot.
2 thumbs and an erect penis. This game gives me a hard on.
A halfie?
Not a halfie.
A fully.
A fully.
Ragey.
Getting pretty close to ragey, yeah.
Oh god. Thinking of these gloves reminds me of fishing. 2 a.m. October. Eel fishing.
Why would we eel fishing in October? 2 a.m. Sounds dumb.
When
Can't say it like that.
Could be sleeping.
Yeah, it could be catching
Blah.
fucking big eels. And then you smoke them, and you eat them, and it's delicious. The problem being, water, cold. October, cold. 2 a.m.,
Outside.
colder. Bring shit up, have to remove fucking kelp, because you bottom trawl that shit. That's like way down on the bottom. These fuckers live, and you go like, you fiddle with the fucking kelp to get it off, and your fingers get colder.